And all the time.
Hey guys, it's me, Comet Bubbles here, and today I'm going to be doing an episode a little bit differently. If you haven't noticed, I actually hit Masters 3. I beat my best season, which was 4909, which was like 2 seasons ago, and like for me to hit Masters again, it feels revitalizing, I suppose is the word. But this time I'm going to be doing a recap on a couple replays that got me up to here at this moment, and hopefully it'll teach you guys to get better at, well, depending on this certain deck, because it's the deck that I use. Luckily with this new level 11 Hog Rider makes the biggest difference. A max card makes a really big difference, and as well as hopefully I'll be able to get my Tornado to level 6. But without any further ado, let's get right into the action. Okay, so this is going to be the first replay out of 4 that I'm going to be showing. Alright, so the first person I'm going to be going against is Godhand from Polyline. He's going to give me a good luck. I'm going to be sending my goblins. I always send my goblins beginning if I don't have my Hog Rider, just so I can cycle. And something you want to do. So he has a level 9 Muskie, so mine's level 10, so I have kind of an advantage at this point. But yeah, I don't really know what he's going to play, so I'm kind of like moving around my cards, not knowing what I want to put. So I'm going to be putting my Knight, I believe. Yep, so I could guard the Muskie, and then I could keep pushing forward. I believe I'm going to Fireball it. Yeah, I'm going to Fireball it because he has Barbarians, and like with one hit from my Knight, it'll take it all out, as well as I'll get some damage in. I put in my Ice Spirit, believing that I would have gotten the minions, but it kind of backfired because they went back towards my Knight. But anyways, I'm gonna be putting some goblins so I can cycle. But right here, my Tornado I kind of messed it up because I dragged his balloon straight towards closer to my tower, so I already knew that was bad. So I guess he's just already going for the 3. So I put down my Knight. I wasn't gonna let him have it because, you know, when even with the tower down, you gotta give it your all, right? If you don't, then you'll never know if you're gonna win or not. So I'm gonna put in my Hog Rider again, so if I could get a few more hits or try to catch up at least. So he's gonna split his Muskie to put it in the middle, so that way he could target my Hog Rider and the Knight. But if you didn't know, my Hog Rider did about 1,000 damage right there, so I'm not even looking too shabby here. So I'm gonna put my goblins right after it locks onto my tower, so that way they can still get a few chips off if they try to continue going. I don't want to give them the chance to get an elixir lead, so I'm gonna Fireball it. Even if it is a negative elixir trade, I don't want them to gain a really big enough lead, so that way I could lose. So I'm cycling back to my Hog Rider because he just hit double elixir, and that way I could just keep going. So he's gonna put his barbs, but I'm only trying to get chip right now. So I already took his tower down to 1,218. So luckily I Tornado zapped everything, and my Musketeer survived a little bit longer, luckily. So I'm gonna put down my Muskie. I'm gonna put down an Ice Spirit so I can slow down the balloon from getting to my King Tower, and I'm gonna Tornado everything. I'm gonna zap it, so that way it does collateral damage to everything within it, and I'm not even gonna lose. So right there, him putting down the Barbarians was a big mistake, which allows my Hog Riders to just push. So I already have 8 elixir, so I'm gonna do a Knight and Hog Rider and just continue it all out. As you can see, he says good game because he already knows he lost. He only has about 8 seconds, and he's not gonna have enough time. So I'm gonna Tornado just to slow everything down, and that gave me the lead and the win. But either way, that's gonna be the end of the first replay, and I hope you guys learned something. So we'll get ready to the second one. Okay, so this next replay is against Bond007 from US of Albania. If you didn't know, he has a Hog Rider deck, so it's going to be a bit harder considering that it's a Hog Rider on Hog Rider, so it's more about skill level right here. So you're going to be putting a Knight Hog Rider, so I'm going to put my Knight to distract his Knight, and I'm going to Tornado Ice Spirit, so that way my Prison's Tower does not get any hits, but his Hog Rider attacks my tower. Alright, so I'm being impatient as I usually am, but I believe I'm gonna cycle my goblins because I'm about to hit 10 elixir, and it's never good to waste elixir. Remember, the key to winning a battle is to use your elixir efficiently, as it says in the tip guide. Whenever it's like on a loading screen. So he's gonna fireball my muskie, hoping to take out mine, but I'm gonna put the knight in so that way it's still alive, and now he has to deal with it. So now he's gonna tornado everything. I was trying to zap the goblins before it took out my muskie, just so that way it would still be alive, but I was a millisecond too late, so I got the stab off. So I'm gonna use my goblins again to distract the knight, and I'm gonna pull it towards a little bit farther back, and it's gonna get 2 hits, but it's better than nothing. I could have dragged it to my king tower to make it soak up more damage, but I feel like if I continuously let my king tower take more damage, if he takes out my tower, he could just go for the 3 count, and I don't want that. So I was more comfortable with doing that. So I'm gonna fireball his archers. Never be afraid to get another negative elixir trade. I wouldn't assume this is a negative elixir trade, because even if I fireball his archers, I still got some king tower, some princess tower damage. So all in all, it was still a fair trade. He's going to fireball my muskie, which I guess it's smart, but to me it was just a waste of a fireball. If I'm gonna use my fireball, I want to make sure that I'm always at least going to get the princess tower, so I can get some more damage. Right here I'm wasting elixir, which is kind of bad. You never want to do that. So I'm gonna just zap everything right there, and I'm gonna use my tornado so that way the Hog Rider doesn't get any hits, and if he's going to fireball, it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna put a fireball. No, I'm not actually. That would have been a bad mistake, because my Hog Rider wasn't even gonna make it to the tower. He cycled back to his Hog Rider, so he's gonna be doing another push. I'm gonna put my Ice Spirits, that way it freezes his Hog Rider and I don't have to worry about it getting a hit. I was trying to put Knight and then Hog Rider, but my Hog Rider went first. But as you can see, I gained the upper advantage there because I outcycled his Tornado, and he had to get right back to it, which allowed my Hog Rider to get even more hits. So he's trying to zap and get some damage, which is good, but I don't really have to worry about it. He fireballed nothing, so that's bad. I did a Knight and another Hog Rider, and yeah, as you can see, it looks like I'm going to be winning this one right here. So I'm going to zap. All in all, I just need 1 hit, and it didn't get the hit. That sucks. Alright, so I'm going to cycle back my goblins. As you can see, I don't want to, if I'm going to use the tornado, I don't want to be worried about those goblins, because if they're not taken out, then they're just going to get more chip damage, and I don't want that. So I'm just fireballing it right now. As you can see, the Hog Rider got the hit, and I took it out. He's going to laugh. I'm going to give him a thumbs up, and we pulled it off. Luckily, when it comes to going against Hog Rider decks, you want to be more patient. You want to defend their Hog Rider first, and then push, but to counterattack. But if they have a Hog Rider, if they have a Hog Tornado, then it's best to put your Knight up, and then when your Knight is done taking the Hog Rider, then you could put a Hog Rider behind the Knight, because if you didn't know, when you use the Tornado and you have a Knight Hog Rider, the Tornado full strength isn't strong enough to pull the Hog all the way back, so it actually won't really do as much. It won't really be as effective, and your Hog Rider will get closer to the tower, getting you that extra hit off that you need to do damage or to take out their tower. Let's get on to the next replay. Without further ado, the next replay is going to be against Abdullah. I don't know. AH, your choice. I don't know the pronunciation. I don't really care. So I'm going to put my goblins as I did again to cycle. I just want to see what he puts down. It's always good to do that just so you know what they have, and I'll give you a sense of what deck you're trying to face. So he's going to fireball my muskie, and I kind of figured that already. That's why I put down my Knight to begin with, and I'm going to put a Hog Rider so that way I can go straight into a counterattack. And he's trying to get to his Elite Barbarians. I was gonna zap it, but I realized I didn't know what he was gonna have. Once he put down his Elite Barbarians, I just held off. I was gonna let my tower finish the job, and I didn't really have anything to do, so I just tornadoed it a bit more back. And I guess all in all, I put the Knight to soak up an extra hit. I didn't really want it to take out another one, to get another hit on my tower. So all in all, I believe I did a decent job with what was given to me on the defense. I didn't really know what to do. I was cycling. I was just thinking of fireballing it, but I didn't. and I didn't know what to do, so I pushed my Hog Rider on the opposite side. So in case, I already knew that I had a bad rotation, so I just wanted to make sure that I got damage on the other side too to even it up. Right now, as you can see, it's not looking so good for me. He already took out my, he almost took out my tower, and I barely have done like about 1200 damage to each one of them. So it's not really looking as good for me as I want it to be. So he's putting down his minions. I'm gonna fireball it, even if it's a 3-4 elixir trade. Remember, king tower damage, fine. I mean, princess tower damage is fine. Just make sure a good method with this deck is if they have a cluster of stuff coming your way, it's always good to save up your tornado and your fireball, so that way you get damage on everything, which is the best you could do. Alright, so I'm gonna fireball that because value. He's gonna fireball mine because he already wants to take out my tower, which I already realized was a mistake. He's gonna put down his royal RG, and I just tornadoed it to the left side, so that way it would drag onto my king tower, and I wouldn't have to worry about my other one taking damage. So I realized here I had to put my knight and my Hog Rider because he was gonna put elite barbarians, but he put his witch instead. I was just hoping that fireballing would push the knight back, which allowed it for my Hog Rider to get the extra hit and to take out the tower. So he wasn't trying to do the same mistake again, but this time what he messed up right now is that he put his RG in the back. This is what messed him up. It allowed me for him to, I guess he's trying to get a big push off, but I'm trying to do the push right now. So allowing me to get this push off, I'm gonna fireball everything. He did a really bad fireball, and that bad fireball is gonna cost him the game. So I'm just like, as you can see, I tornadoed everything. I was trying to zap it because I thought that my muskie would have survived, but it didn't. I'm trying to cycle and to freeze it so that way I can continue it. He wastes his zap on 2 goblins. I wouldn't really call that a great elixir trade. And right now he's trying to fireball it to get as much damage as he can. So I'm just gonna put in another Hog Rider, and I'm gonna fireball it. I got 1 archer, so it's not as good as I would like. I zapped it so I could get that extra hit off, so all I really need to do is just get to my muskie. But I can't put the muskie right now because it would have targeted the archer and I wouldn't have gotten that extra hit off. So that 1 hit, we got that pop off and we won. Gave him that good game, and we beat a level 13 guys with a max RG. What better can you say than get skills, dude? Alright, so this next battle is going to be against a bunch of symbols and the heart, which is all I can understand. But she's going to be using a Hog Rider deck, which is strange because I haven't seen this type, but it's really good to see like a unique deck because you never really see them. Because I'm using a deck that was made by that was in the meta before, so I'm using an old meta deck, but still, it's what I'm most comfortable with. So without further ado, let's get to this last replay. So I don't really have my Hog Rider in play yet, so I'm just gonna cycle to it. I was gonna do goblins and then Hog Rider, but I didn't, and I was thinking of tornadoing it, but he didn't zap my goblins, so might as well just let it take the hit. So using that extra freeze did a little bit more damage to the Valkyrie, which is pretty good. So I put my knight. I was debating either between my knight or my muskie, but he probably would have fireballed it, and I didn't really want that fireball on my princess tower. So he's gonna put some archers down, and like I said, don't ever be afraid to do that. Even if it's a negative elixir trade, my knight got even an extra hit off, which I believe to me was a positive elixir trade. So I put down my goblins, but I realized that the max muskie was able to pop off each one with 1 hit. I put down my knight so that way it wouldn't target my tower and I would get some hits off. He got a really valuable zap here. I mean lightning. I zapped it so I could get the 2 extra hits, because I believe like might as well, you know. It might have seemed like a negative elixir trade, but I'm closer to taking out his tower. So to me, I realized that since I know how to count elixir, I realized that he wouldn't have had anything else because he put down skellies, which means that he only has about, that was like his last ditch defense card, which by zapping it, he couldn't do anything. So I'm cycling back through my goblins, and I'm seeing if maybe they'll get some chip damage, rather than being a waste and cycling them through the back. So my Muskie's gonna get that extra pop off. I was trying to get the tower and the Muskie, but I didn't, which cost me this tower right here. I was trying to zap it, but it was still alive. And that last HP was able to, the last HP on the Muskie helped it keep going. So I did my famous Hog Rider Muskie trick, which allowed me to take out his tower to almost half HP. So right now it's all about chip, and I could probably win this. So I didn't really worry about that archer on the left side because I only had 1 HP left, and I realized I was gonna die anyways. So I'm just clustering everything and zapping it so that way I could take everything out and do damage to everything. So he's gonna waste 3 elixir on 14, but I guess it's the only way to keep him in this game. So I put the Muskie and the Ice Spirit, which the Ice Spirit got value by getting the skellies. So right now I'm chipping them slowly but steadily. So I'm gonna fireball everything, and I'm gonna no, I didn't tornado it this time because I realized he doesn't have zap. So my Muskie got 2 pops off. So I'm just repetitively doing the same thing, which for me it's weird because he's not really doing the same thing. I mean, he's not really guarding it. He's just allowing me to get those hits off, which cost him the game. So again, tornado zap. He got my Ice Spirit, which kind of was unlucky. But either ways, my Muskie got 2 more pops off. Even with that Tesla, it wasn't enough. My Muskie took out his tower, and that game right there got me to Masters with 4,915 trophies. I'm so proud. Well guys, that's gonna be the video. Throwford card is gonna say KYS. I believe that is, I don't even know what KYS stands for, but it's gonna say you suck. Well yeah, anyways guys, thanks for watching my video today, and that was my recap on my wins towards getting to Masters League. Like I said, once the season resets, I'm going to be doing a series of like perhaps maybe 3 battles a day of me going from 4,300 to 4,900 because of league season reset. When you get to 4,900 trophies, you're going to be reset to 4,300, which is a good perk, instead of having to go from 4,000 all the way up, which is kind of like last season, which kind of sucked. But either ways, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love any tips that you guys gave me, and I love all the support. Well, either ways, I'll see you guys in the next episode.
I'm at an all-time